So, in the last couple of days, we had gotten some huge news regarding the street level side of the MCU. Everything from the Defenders going back to Moon Knight and Yelena Belova. You might be wondering, how can they introduce them back into the MCU and make it work? Well, I think I might have an idea. If you're new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are very quickly approaching 100,000 subscribers, and my goal is to hit that by December 25th. I'm going to be tying this into Daredevil Born Again, and I will be talking about the leaked D23 footage, so if you don't want parts of Daredevil Born Again spoiled for you, this is your spoiler warning. From the footage we got from D23's Daredevil Born Again trailer, we got confirmation that Wilson Fisk is running for mayor. We already know from the ending of Echo that Wilson Fisk's goal is to become mayor of New York City. We also know that Muse is going to be in Daredevil Born Again. These two are important for the story, for how they connect to Daredevil Born Again, and possibly Spider-Man 4. Now, for how the Defenders characters can be reintroduced into the MCU, I'm going to say with a series that is titled Heroes for Hire. Now, this would vary from the comics a little bit, but we'd be using the same title, but just varied as seen in the thumbnail. For this show, I'm going to be using the plot from Daredevil 600 because it's not only just a Daredevil plot, but a Defenders and Heroes for Hire plot, and this fits in so well with Daredevil Born Again and reincorporates all of our previous Defenders characters. With this, the series would be taking place in Fisk's New York. Wilson Fisk would be the mayor of the city and would have put the anti-vigilante task force in place, and Daredevil would be made public enemy number 1. Which from the leaked Daredevil Born Again set photos and videos, we already know that Wilson Fisk has put together this task force and they will be in full effect during the show. With that, Daredevil would be the unofficial leader of the Defenders, and he'd be meeting with them along with Misty Knight, Echo, Moon Knight, Punisher, Colleen Wynn, Yelena Belova, and possibly Spider-Man. Due to Sony's rights issues, I will leave him out though. Here, we would catch back up with the characters the last time we saw them, and we would also get caught up on what happened to them during the blip. We would see Fisk's New York in full effect, and all of our characters having to stay in hiding. The main plot would be surrounding around our heroes, taking down Wilson Fisk, along with Muse. You might be wondering, who is Muse? Well, Muse is primarily a Daredevil villain who had a sick and sadistic personality, and makes less than ideal paintings with his victims. He not only terrorizes New York, but Daredevil and Wilson Fisk, along with others. We will see this heavily explored in Daredevil Born Again, so I don't want to get too deep into the character and potentially spoil huge plot points for the show. Muse would be an antagonist that all of our characters run into and will have to deal with throughout the show, being a reoccurring villain. Following this, Black Cat, Hammerhead, and Diamondback from Luke Cage would also appear in the show, working for Fisk. They would be running his criminal underground and also be leading the charge against the vigilantes from the crime side of things. Once again, Black Cat and Hammerhead might not be able to be used due to rights, but I'm going to continue. They would end up getting taken down by our Heroes for Hire and would give the heroes the starting point to expose Wilson Fisk and his corruption in New York City. But in this show, the heroes would have the opportunity to take down Fisk, but would fail, and Wilson Fisk and Daredevil would end up going toe-to-toe at the end of the series. We would end on a cliffhanger ending with Wilson Fisk defeating Daredevil. I just want to say he's defeating him, he isn't killing him. Fisk would start to boast, but it would be short-lived, as the Hand would interrupt the fight, and does so by plunging multiple poisoned arrows into Wilson Fisk. We would see Wilson Fisk drop to his knees and then fall over before cutting to black, leading to the movie. The movie would also introduce concepts of Shadowland and would give us Matt Murdock's Shadowland suit, which we saw glimpses of in the Daredevil Born Again trailer from D23. This show would be the stepping stone right up to when a movie would take place. Elektra could also possibly return as the leader of the Hand instead of Matt, but I feel like since Elektra has already died and come back to life in the Defenders, it wouldn't be right to do it again. But if they do bring back Elektra, I would be all for it. But if you're wondering about what that movie would be, it would be a street-level movie with the hopes of having Spider-Man involved and have our heroes defeating Fisk and having to fight off the Hand. But that is another video for a different day. My question for you all would be, how would you like to see our Defenders characters be brought into the MCU? I'm very interested to hear what you all think in the comments down below. I cannot wait to see Daredevil Born Again, but also see the reintroduction of our beloved Defenders characters. With that, Joe from Jar Jar Jargon and I will be going live this week with another episode of Cantina Jargon, so make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss when that stream happens. Without further ado, I will see you all in the next one. This has been Cantina Talk, signing off.